How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Tap the banner or visit usaa.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
K-pop Demon Hunters Haja Boys breakfast meal and Huntrix meal have just dropped at McDonald's. They're calling this a battle for the fans. What do you say to that, Rumi?
It's not a battle. So glad the Saja Boys could take breakfast and give our meal the rest of the day.
It is an honor to share.
No, it's our honor.
It is our larger honor.
No, really. Stop.
You can really feel the respect in this battle. Pick a meal to pick a side.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
At participating McDonald's while supplies last.
Start your day with Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal. The instant oatmeal ready to help you tackle whatever your day brings. Like wrangling your toddler into their car seat. That was fun. Coaching your 6th graders soccer team. Go girls! And carrying all the groceries in one trip. Whew. Try Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal, granola, and bars. Great taste and a good source of protein. Quaker, bring out the good.
Welcome to another Find the Edge production for the Premier League Cricket Club. Connecting players and coaches, clubs and leagues, volunteers and supporters alike, you're in the right place for the best of the 33 ECB Premier Leagues and the 20 NCCA counties, bringing you the stories, the stats and the standout performances that make this game great. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to both our Premier League and NCCA shows so you don't miss any episodes. Now, shall we get stuck in? Welcome everyone to, once again, the Captain's Table at the Premier League Cricket Club. And again, we're trying to do a pre-season preview with a promoted club. Today, joining us from Ramsey Cricket Club, who are in Huntingdonshire. They won the Cambridgeshire and Huntingdonshire League last season, then beat relegated Great Witchingham in a semi-final playoff, and then a thriller of a playoff final against North Wrungton. We've got Michael Cafferkey, the skipper at Ramsey, who this year joins us in East Anglian Premier League. How are we doing, Michael?
Yeah, good, thanks. Thanks for having us on.
No, absolute pleasure, mate. I mean, let's get straight to it in that. What a chore it is to qualify for the East Anglian Premier. I mean, you've done the hard work. You've won the league, I think, with a week to go, if I've worked it out correctly. And then you still had 2 more games to get through.
Yeah, and we lost in the playoff final last year as well to Downham. So we came really close last year, and we got on the bad end of a weather decision last year. And yeah, so everyone was pretty keen to have another good crack at it. And yeah, luckily enough, it was the 4th time we've played in the playoff final. So
fourth time, wow.
Yeah. So
here's the big question. Which was the most enjoyable, winning the playoff final or having the last game of the Cambridgeshire and Huntingdonshire season conceded and having a day off?
Well, it's always nice to, because really, even when you win the league, there's always that part of you that you can't really celebrate because generally the semi-final's the next day. Yeah. So you have the semi-final on the Sunday and then the playoff final the following week. So unless you get promoted, as nice as it is to win the league, it doesn't ever really feel the same. So yeah, no. I completely forgot about the last game being conceded, to be fair.
I had to work it out. Had they won the league on a concession, now you'd won it the week before, hadn't you? So but that would have been even weird to have won it on a concession. And you'd been pushed all the way, hadn't you, by Burwell and Exting? Until I think, was it about a week or 2 before they lost one, you won one, and that was it. Yeah,
because of how the point system in our league was set up, you could technically win every game and still lose the league, which always keeps everyone sort of in the hunt. And yeah, fortunately we put on a decent run towards the end of the year and then saved some of the best cricket till the semi-final and the final.
That's what counts, isn't it? You want it just at the end of the day, it's just getting in there. But you've taken the club up now. It's now a new league. It's new grounds, new challenges, without a doubt. There's bound to be some interesting chats in the WhatsApp group between the lads. For yourself, is it a feeling of relief, pride, excitement, or are you just lying awake at night thinking of field placings and what you're going to do with the bowling attack?
More relief, really, because we've, like as I mentioned earlier, we've lost it, or we lost previously 3 times in the playoff final. The first, I think, was 2012. A good Cop Dock side beat us, and then we lost to Frinton a few years later that had Ben Folkes and Merv Westfield, and they were Justin Greaves, I think, who's been playing Test cricket for West Indies. They were fully stacked. And so and then we came so close last year against another good like Downham side, and so it was the relief that we finally got here. We've got a good young side with some, and we've made some good signings from a couple of local clubs. So there's a lot of hunger around. I think we'll give it a good crack and see where we are at the end. But
absolutely, and it's fair to say, isn't it, that top end of the CAMS League and the leagues that feed into the East Anglian Premier League, it's certainly competitive. You can see how Downham Stowe, they were quite comfortable staying in the Premier League last year. You guys are right at that level already.
Yeah, it's the hardest thing is getting into the league, without question. I'm not aware of any other feeder league system where you have to win 2 semi-final or a semi-final and then the playoff final, which also makes it quite a difficult league to also get relegated out of. I know that I think on the last day of the Premier League season last year, there was 5 teams that could have been playing on the Sunday in the playoff semi-final. So there's obviously a gap between the very top teams, but I imagine that we'll be able to compete with the sides that generally finish around the bottom of the Premier League quite comfortably.
So go on then, take us back to last season. What do you think was the difference for you guys last year? Not the big headline stuff, we scored more runs, we took more wickets. What was the difference that got you just quietly over the line this time?
It's a bit of a cliche, but we are like a proper family club. There's obviously a couple of sets of brothers that play, and we are all genuinely good mates off the field. Like we sort of socialise all year round. So I think there's games where it's on the edge or on the line that we tend to find ourselves on the winning position more often than not, just by having that bit of togetherness and an extra bit of commitment, I suppose, towards the cause of it. But
and was there a time in the season where you just thought, this is the one, it feels like it's the right one this year?
I can't really remember, to be fair, but I think we were chasing for a while. I think Burwell had it in their hands. So I think it was more, from memory, I think we lost a couple early on. And we might have been washed out when everyone else got a game in or something like that. But it felt like it was going to be a season where everything was going against us, and it would be a year of coming close and just not quite getting over the line. But and even in the playoff final, Mark Saunders played one of the best innings I've seen. To play the way he did in a playoff final with everything on the line. That was even walking. I think we did hundreds of laps lapping around you know what it's like with tradition, and you can't stop. You can't move, stop doing what you're doing, and we were just marching around. And he took the game by the scruff and then got us over the line. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's amazing how far that tradition goes. I've seen it in county cricket last year quite a few times, where you'll see the lads who are not batting or the lads who are 12th, 13th man, they're lapping just like we do on a Saturday club, aren't they?
Yeah.
Very traditional. Talking about promotion now, it is that step up. I think your feeder league is as close to many in terms of being very equal to the Premier League, but when you go up, the standards are going to change. You've got to have those conversations about the lad that chips in every now and again who's going to have to chip in more. What's changed at the club over the winter in particular to sort of get prepared for the Premier League?
Not just in the winter just gone, really. We made a real commitment maybe 4 years ago to have a really good crack. We've won the league twice previously to this year. We've the stuff behind the scenes has been in place for a good few years, and we've got the young lads that have coming through that are now sort of really leading the way in the ones, and the club make a good commitment in investing in the facilities. We had 2 hybrid wickets installed over the winter. We re-leveled the outfield in September. So yeah, we try and do everything off the field to make it as good a place to play, and then it's more enjoyable. You've got good facilities. We had the pavilion rebuilt 5 years ago. So yeah, it's everything off the field is in a good place, and it's just being able to back it up on the field would be nice in the Premier League.
Absolutely. And, looking ahead to that Premier League and the beast that it can be, you are going to come up against better players. You're going to have players who have fewer bad days. You're going to have, if you do go 2 down, you could be 5 down without even thinking twice. The punishments comes faster and harder. What's the biggest step up that you are expecting? And where do you think that you might be able to secretly, surprise 1 or 2 people?
I think, to the first point, I think it's, as you mentioned, the consistency and the unforced errors, I imagine, will be a lot less. Having played in it previously, your better players are a lot better, and your average players are better. So it's a good challenge to have. We have, like I mentioned earlier, we've got some good young lads that are hungry and they want to prove themselves at that level. And if we can give them the opportunity to do it and let them run with it, that will be, as long as we stay up, that's a success for us.
And do you believe that's where you're going to surprise people with some of those youngsters in particular that people won't have seen before?
Yeah, I mean, some of them have played, like the 2 Saunders brothers we have been in and around the Minor County side. We signed Henry Wilson from Sawston, who also is like a really exciting young lad that will bat in the top order for us. Our overseas looks like he can play. Played a handful of games for Sri Lanka in ODI cricket.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be different. No one's played at our ground, apart from maybe a few of the Sawston lads. Not many people would have played at Ramsey, and it's not your traditional flat wicket that the Premier League sees. It's our own wicket. It doesn't bounce too much, but there's a way of scoring at Ramsey, and no target is also too big because it's such a difficult ground to defend on. So
absolutely. And you talk about bringing the youngsters like Henry Wilson over from Sawston. It would be remiss of me not to mention the other extreme, from bringing the youngsters of Henry from Sawston to a EAPL winning captain from Sawston in Mr. Dan Heath.
Yeah. Dan was a good addition as well, and also Taran, the left arm spinner who we signed, is a great addition. And yeah, Dan sort of we've been trying on at him for a few years, ever since he gave up the captaincy at Sawston, and through other reasons and other bits and pieces, he hasn't been able to commit, but he's ready to go, and he's exactly what we needed. I think we used 5 keepers last year.
Wow.
From injuries and unavailability. So to bring someone in that will be able to play every game and have that experience of the league as well, it's sort of invaluable, really.
Yeah, and obviously Dan brings that leadership quality, having been a winning captain there. But for yourself, captaining any side in cricket is a job. Captaining a promoted side it's almost its own job description. How are you balancing, shall we say, ambition with realism around the group, and thinking when you're going to push, when you're going to remind people that actually, you said it yourself earlier, being in one above that relegation is a good place, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think, because of how the league is also set up, when you're chasing the promotion, you tend to play with a lot more aggression, because a draw at the top of the league is a completely different mindset to a draw when you're trying to survive in a league. So there will be a little bit of a switch from how we traditionally play, but I think really you've just got to give people the opportunity to play their own game and play their own way, and people are going to make mistakes. It's going to be one of those where if we learn early from it, we'll do all right. But if we continue to make the same mistakes and make the same errors, then it could be a long season. But we'll definitely give it a good go.
And I think that's exactly what your friends down the road at Downham Stowe did last year. They gave it a good go early doors, surprised one or two people, and then you're going to have weeks that it's not the same.
Yeah, no, exactly that. And there's going to be a guy that's going to have a day out and score a big 100 against you, or take 5 or 6 wickets, and that's just part and parcel of playing at that level of cricket.
Most definitely.
And so sorry. Yeah. And so playing at that level of cricket, you're going to come up against people that are good enough and are going to have a good day out, and it's just being able to stay in the game for as long as you can against those moments and see what you can get out of it.
Yeah, most definitely. So come on then, every team who gets promoted has a danger man that somebody might not know about. So just give us a couple of names, a batter and a bowler, someone that our followers should be circling to go, keep an eye out for that one.
Well, I mentioned them earlier. They're both the Saunders lads. Ben's predominantly a batsman. Just a really good all-round cricketer. Can bowl some handy off-spin. His brother Mark opens the bowling and bats in the middle order. And then probably we've got an older seamer, Mark Edwards, who played a bit for Peterborough Town in the Northants Prem, and he's a better bowler against better players. So I'm sure he'll be looking forward to the opportunity as well.
The challenge that comes with it. And the other challenge you've got, and we talked off air about it, God, you got some driving to do, haven't you boys?
Yeah. Looking at the old fuel prices at the minute, it could be a few expenses put in. But I think we mentioned it's part and parcel of it. We don't have another option. If you want to play at the best level, it is what it is. We've been trying for a good few years to get in there. So there'll be some long days and long nights, but it'll be worth it all in the end. So
absolutely. For those who are listening, Ramsey have got to go to Frinton and Ashmore and Barton Wanderers, 2 hours plus guaranteed on a Saturday morning to get there. And their local away games are the likes of Downham Stowe and Sawston. And you don't get much change out of an hour there, do you, Michael?
No, that's it. Yeah. And bearing in mind, you're relying on single lane roads along the way, so you get stuck behind a tractor or something, and it'll be there'll be some early starts.
Nobody wants to go there for the national championship. It's a long way to go for those games, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we've got to go to Frinton for the national T20 knockout as well, so that'll be 2 trips to Frinton's a lot.
Absolutely. But you start the season ahead of the league with the National Club Championship, don't you?
Yeah, we play on the 12th, Sunday the 12th, in the preliminary round, which will be, it'll be a good warm-up. We played Downham on the 11th in a friendly that we played them last year. So we've repeated that fixture. And then, it'll be nice to have a bit of competitive cricket on the Sunday to lead into the following Saturday. So
absolutely. So come on then, we're coming towards the end of the chat. Let's talk about the season ahead. No hedging, no cliches. What does success look like for Ramsey this year?
Obviously staying in the league, first and foremost. I think if we're able to stay up with a few games in hand and not be so edgy at the end, it'll be really good. But I think anything in all sport is, if you get on a good winning run and good habits become a thing, then you can, the sky's the limit. And the same if all the bad habits come out and it's difficult to get a win and you feel like you're chasing the game all the time, it could be a long season. But I think initially staying up in the league and then making it comfortable that we haven't got to keep looking over the shoulder, really. Absolutely.
So go on then. Finally, where's your money at in the East Anglian Premier League for champions this year?
I don't think you can look too far past Sawston. They bring in a lot of experienced players. I think that they've signed James Sykes and a couple of other lads to add to their already strong side. So I don't really know who else anyone's really signed, but I think Sawston are always there or thereabouts.
It has been one of the quieter leagues in the country, without a doubt, definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how people line up.
Absolutely. That's great, Michael. Thanks for joining us at the captain table. Best of luck for 2026 and putting your arm around all those youngsters and making sure that they develop through the season.
Yeah, no, perfect. Thanks very much.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Am.
Right, it's time to do teammates with Ramsey Cricket Club of the East Anglian Premier League. And as always, we love our T10 cricket. So it's 10 questions as quick as we can. Michael, who's most likely to be late?
Jack Hodgson.
Who's most likely to go on a reality show?
Taylor West.
Who's most likely to throw a bat?
Wayne Bradley.
Who's most likely to ignore a WhatsApp?
We'll go Mark Edwards.
Who would you never want to share a car with on one of those long journeys?
We'll go Dan Heath.
Who spends the longest on their hair?
Well, we had a pre-season sort of get-together on Saturday night, and Dan Heath was 3 hours late to it. So I imagine it was probably because he was doing his hair.
Who would you never want to organise a team night out?
Mark Edwards.
Who's most likely to wind you up or start an argument?
Probably one of my brothers.
Who's most likely to Google themselves?
We'll put Dan Heath.
Okay. And finally, who's the most famous person in your phone book that you'd love to invite to play at Ramsey?
Adam Rossington.
That's T10 teammates at Ramsey. Thanks for joining us at the Premier League Cricket Club. We'll be back soon with more from the world of Premier League and NCCA cricket. But in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review and follow us wherever you get your socials. Or maybe check out our website, premierleaguecricket.co.uk, to stay updated. Until next time, have a good one.
Nobody wants to get catfished by dating profiles or big wireless carriers with hidden fees. Your one true match? Visible Wireless. It's one-line wireless with unlimited data and hotspot for just $25 a month, taxes and fees included. Now that's a green flag. And it's fully digital, so you can switch as fast as you swipe. Tap the banner to learn more. Terms apply. See visible.com for plan features and network management details.